unethical. The way I see it, it's unethical. This is how I see it: unethical, immoral, amoral. I don't know I can't remember the difference now between them two, but anyway, it's it's a lie again. If I tell you I will do this and I don't do it and I go and hide, I've lied to you in that moment. To me, is unacceptable. So I've done my job properly, morning till evening, on the street, walking, conflicts, conversation. But I've enjoyed it because I had the opportunity to. I love walking. I love walking. It's the best physio exercise that we can do. Walking, cardio. So I loved it, and I also loved that I had the opportunity to talk to so many people, to so many members of the public, who I probably would not have had the opportunity to talk to. I had the opportunity to talk to people who, even though I've done something to them which they could see as a negative thing, after a conversation with them, they would be like, you know what, I'm not that sorry that you did this to me. I know it is your job, but I'm actually happy that we got to talk, because now I'm going home and I'm more relaxed, I'm happier. Before I was stressed or whatever. So this made me happy. But after 10 months of working and also trying to do some other stuff on the side, I was paying £50 a month for something to try to get out of that situation, to do more for myself on the side, to do something on the side. And I was paying £50 a month, but I wasn't able to learn anything because I was too tired. I was too tired to do it. Anyway, I've started this job in October. Then in October 2020, in 2021, I was moved. I was moved 4 times. I've stayed in 5 places. So I was moved 4 times. I stayed in 5 places. In one place, I stayed in that place 1 week. I didn't mind. For me, all that mattered was to do what needs to be done in order for me to get out of that situation. Eventually, with the help of an amazing Romanian lady who was working for a charity, she was like the first one who kind of fought for me. In my eyes, this is how I see it. She fought with the council people to take me in, because she knew that they were supposed to take me in, but they simply didn't want to. They simply didn't want to. They were looking for any excuse not to accept me, any excuse. And she had to email all the managers and all the people in the council in order for them to accept me. She was I say fought, because I haven't seen, with all the charities and all the caseworkers I've worked so far, I've never seen anyone trying so hard. This is why I say she fought. She was emailing them, no, you have to, because it's your job and it's his right. You have to do your job to give him his right. So eventually they didn't have an option, so they had to accept me, and they've placed me into Shuttleworth Hostel. Shuttleworth Hostel, a initially they've put me into a room because I have diabetes type 1 by law. From what I have heard, I don't know exactly the law. It's one of the reasons why they've been able to do whatever they wanted with me, because I don't really know the law when it comes to this. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a solicitor, uh, and the way I see it, everyone should do their own specialty, their own degree, whatever they've studied, they should do that. And if if I have this light bulb as an example, if it gets if it's if it doesn't work anymore, if it breaks down, the way I see it, even though I don't do it when it comes to small stuff like this, I'm being honest with small stuff like this, but the way I see it, we should call an electrician. I don't know if over there something else happened. I don't know if it's just the light bulb that needs to be changed, or if something else happened. So I believe we should call an electrician. In the same way, if I don't know the law, if you who know the law and you're supposed to use it, then you should use it properly, not misuse it in a way to kick me out. But anyway, so they had to give me a room with kitchen and bathroom because I have diabetes type 1 by law. From what I understand, they're supposed to give me they were supposed to give me to house me in a place where I would have access to my own kitchen and my own bathroom and shower. Bathroom first of all, because I do go to the toilet a lot more than most people because of the diabetes. Second, with the food, with the kitchen, I have to watch what I eat. If I want to have a healthy lifestyle, and when it comes to my diabetes, to keep myself healthy, I need to take care of what I eat, how I eat, when I eat. It's monitoring and continuous monitoring and continuous adjustment over and over again. This is what diabetes is. It's a full-time job, another full-time job. I went there and the place was disappointing, but I said, you know what, it's just a stepping stone. We're gonna work hard, fight hard, and get out of this situation. A few months, I'm not gonna die a few months. This is what I was telling myself. I left my luggage in the room. I left my luggage in the room, and I went to see the area, do some shopping. I didn't have food, I didn't have stuff. I went and did that. 1 hour later, when I came back, the room was full of cockroaches. I was like, what is going on? I was like, come on, maybe they will go. Just go. Because, cockroaches come and go. This is how they are. Especially if you leave the light on, they don't come. So I was planning to sleep with the light on until we sort out the issue, until they call the pest control. But turned the light on, I left the room, I came back 1 hour later, there were more. I thought, let me give them another hour. I was slowly starting to panic. Let me give them another hour. I gave them an hour every hour until 1 a.m. This was from 6 p.m. 1 a.m. I was too tired. I wanted to go and sleep on a bench on the street in a park or something, but it was too cold. I couldn't sleep. Next morning I was supposed to go to work. I went and slept in the communal kitchen on a sofa there. Normally they weren't supposed to let me sleep there, but I don't know, maybe they didn't see me, maybe they understood my situation, maybe they understood that I cannot sleep in the cockroach infested room. Who knows? But next day I told them, listen, I cannot sleep in this room. It's I have videos, by the way, so you can't say I'm lying or that I'm exaggerating, because I have videos for you to see them, like dot 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 next to dot. Luckily they gave me a different room for a few days. In the evening they would give me the room key. I would go there, I would sleep, I would wake up in the morning. No, I would go into the room that they initially gave me, take my sleeping stuff, which I would hold them like wrapped up in bags to make sure that cockroaches don't go in there. Yeah, take my sleeping stuff, prepare the clothes for the uniform for the next day at work, and all the stuff that I will need for the next day at work, and take them to the room that they would give me for the night. Take a shower, go to sleep. Next day in the morning, take a shower, get ready, take the clothes, the sleeping clothes, leave them, wrap them up in bags, leave them in the cockroach infested room, go to the reception, give the key, go to work. In the evening, come back, repeat the scenario. Eventually, they told me that the pest control came, and in a while the cockroaches should die. In a few days the cockroaches should die and the problem should be sorted. After I saw the amount of cockroaches that were there, I definitely could not have slept there. I would have probably been every night, like if I would feel something walking or like ticklish or anything, I would probably have jumped off the bed. I mean, the way I see it, I don't like insects. I find them gross. In Shuttleworth, I got used to them. I've started to tolerate them to an extent. So I told them, listen, I cannot, please give me a different room. They said they have only a room with shower but no kitchen. I said, all right, and a lot smaller. It was indeed 3 times smaller. I'm not joking. The first room that they give to me, it was 9 square meters. This one was 3 square meters. When I signed the license agreement, I signed the license agreement on £140, £143 and some pence, plus £12 service charge. 2 weeks later, I received the bill, and it was saying 240 plus £14 service charge. I was like, what? This is wrong. This is definitely wrong. So I started to email the council. My caseworker answered the phone the first day when I arrived in the hostel, and I told her about the cockroaches. And then, even though I've called every day, she didn't answer anymore. I've emailed her, she didn't answer. So I saw 240 plus 14, meaning £255 a week. £255 every week. Nearly £1,100 a month. wow, for a 3 square meters bedroom in a hostel with the conditions, you should go and see, and then we can talk about that. I've started to email them. I paid the rent for the first month and a half or something like this. I kept emailing them. Nothing. I said, you know what? I'm stopping. I'm not paying anymore. I mean, I'm calling you, I'm emailing all the people that I have email addresses from the council. It's about Camden Council, by the way. I didn't mention this. I've called everyone, all the caseworkers, manager, everyone who I had the email for. If you don't believe me, I have the emails. I said, let me not stress them out. Send an email once every 2 weeks, 3 weeks. They're busy. I understand each caseworker probably has at least 50 clients. I said to myself, Andre, be understanding. Be understanding. They're humans as well. They're maybe they're doing their best as well. They're trying their best. So I tried every 2-3 weeks. Gave them some time, nothing. 4 or 5 months later, they call me. Oh, you have to pay the rent. You went into rent arrears. If you don't pay the rent, we will kick you out. Excuse me? What do you mean you will kick me out? What do you mean you will kick me out? I don't understand. I've been emailing you until now asking about the price, because I've signed the license agreement on an amount, and you're charging me a totally different amount, nearly double. Plus, in my head, let's say £240 would be the big room, 9 square meters. But you're asking for a 3 square meters, the same price. What is wrong with you? It doesn't make any sense. Later on, I found out that every room in that building in Shuttleworth Hostel is the same price, and there's some of the rooms, they are, from what I heard, because I've never been in a prison cell, but from what I've heard from people who've been in prison, they said those rooms are smaller than a prison cell. And that every room is like roughly £1,100, a little bit less than £1,100. Doesn't make sense. One should be cheaper than the other. The size should matter, the way I see it in price, when it's about price. But I guess when you work with the government, you can charge however you want, how much you want, and of course the government will just pay. So I told them, listen, I stopped paying because you didn't answer my emails, and then we can talk about rent arrears. The person was like, oh, okay, let me call you back. Nothing. A month later, someone else called me. Oh, you went into rent arrears. If you don't pay, we will kick you out. Excuse me, I went through this a month ago. What is happening with you? Are you taking turns to see if one of you is able to scare me or what? Because I don't understand what you're trying to do here. I've told your colleague as well. I've been emailing you. I've stopped paying because you haven't been answering to my emails. I haven't received any answer to my emails. After this, I have received an answer only to one email saying that, oh, the prices are the same. Every room has the same price. This was the only response that I have received. No one said anything about the sudden increase. Also, after I've signed on a specific amount, they they've increased the amount, and I was I was earning roughly £1,600 a month, out of which I had I, I couldn't I did in the beginning I didn't have cookware, so I was eating mostly takeaways. I couldn't cook for lunch at work, so I had to take takeaway for lunch, takeaway for dinner. The only thing that I could easily eat was breakfast, because it's milk and cereals. You put the milk in the fridge, the cereals in the cupboard. You just need a bowl and a spoon. In the morning, you wake up, you put your Weetabix and your fruit and fiber in the bowl. You pour milk on top, and you start eating. It's simple, but not lunch, dinner, and lunch for work. So I was spending a lot of money on food. Then I had to pay transportation, and the housing benefit was covering £205 a month. My expenses were roughly 800, food and everything, and I was supposed to pay roughly 850. So I guess they were expecting for me to be able to pay the rent, to be able to pay for all of these expenses, and at the same time to save money to be able to get out of the situation. No, I mean, it's reasonable, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. I said nothing. I said, all right, it doesn't matter. We just keep on pushing. This is gonna be just for a few months. Huh. Little did I know that 16 months later I would still be in Shuttleworth Hostel, not being able to talk to, to the counselor, to the caseworkers. Of course, that I didn't pay. I didn't pay the rent anymore because they didn't answer my emails. But on 15th of September last year, I had to quit my job because I couldn't handle anymore the long hours, full time. I've applied with them to work part time, and it was like they were doing anything to refuse me. It's like they thought that if they refuse me, I will just comply to this and just force myself to work for them until I die, until I fall off my legs. Maybe this is what they thought, but I I love myself, and I love myself more with every day, because with every day I realize how much people are trying to make me something that I'm not. So with every attempt that do they have against me, they are only teaching me how to love myself even more. So in that moment, because they kept going around with and looking for excuses and saying, "Oh, we will be waiting for a GP letter." I had appointment with the GP 3 weeks later, so they wanted for me to wait 3 weeks until I have the GP appointment, and until I get the letter. Who knows? Let's say a month, and I was already feeling like nearly crashing. I just lost my temper, and I've quit the job in that moment. They were shocked as well, but it is what it is. If you didn't want to respect my decision, because I actually liked that job. At that time, I liked it. I was enjoying it. It wasn't what I wanted to do. It's not what I want to do in life, but it was alright. At least it was ticking some boxes. And I've quit the job. Next day, I've emailed the I've emailed the housing benefits department from Camden Council, letting them know that I've lost the job. So to make sure, because I didn't want them to ask for me to pay £850 a month when I didn't have a job. Yeah, they I don't know exactly what happened. They've stopped from my pay. I've they've paid me like 11. They've said that my pay slip on my pay slip was £1,100, but in my bank account arrived like £600, and they've also declared to HM no to HMRC and DWP. They've declared that I have received £1,100, when in reality I have received £600. For that reason, I wasn't able to apply for universal credit in that month. I didn't receive anything. And you say, oh, why? Because £600, when you have an £850 rent, and you also have to live, you have to eat, you have to pay for your phone and everything that you have to do, £600 is not enough. Every little helps in that situation. Housing benefit answered to me 2 months later, saying that they have approved my benefit starting from that point, but they're not approving it from 15th of September because I didn't send them the P45 or the P60 or something like this. And I told them from the beginning, I do not have that form because the managers of the company that I've worked for don't want to answer my emails. I've told them I've been emailing them every day, nothing. And this is true, I have the emails. They've answered, one of the managers answered to me once. The company that I work for is a subcontractor of a council. And the only time that one of the manager answered to me was when I added two council people in the emails, and one of the council people answered back and said, Andre, get in contact with the company because there's nothing we can do. And that manager instantly emailed me and said, Andre, anything you have anything you want to talk to us, just email me or a different manager. That instant, I've emailed them, nothing, no answer. I've emailed them the next day, no answer. 2 days later, 3 days later, 4 days later, a week every day, nothing. Then every week, nothing. So the housing benefit is not covering for the period from 15th of for like roughly 2 months, because I don't have the P45, and I can't get the P45 because the manager wants to get back at me, wants revenge because I didn't want to do the way he wanted me to do, because he wanted to force me to work full time when I have applied for part time, but he disagreed with my decision, because I do not have a right to have a decision in his opinion. This is how I see it. I don't. The way I see it is that his opinion is that I don't have a right to have a decision. I have to do what he says and in the way he says. Anyway, so one of the council people said, okay, he contacted me later on about the rent arrears. I've explained him the situation. He said, okay, let's see what we can do. He, a very nice guy, thank you. I'm not gonna say your name because I don't know. I don't want to cause you any trouble. But thank you. You probably know yourself. He helped me. Uh, he got in contact with DWP and asked for a discretionary payment for me. So DWP covered the rent that I didn't pay um, when I was working. But the period 15th of September to 15th of December, that's in 3 months, uh, it wasn't covered, and the housing benefits didn't wanna write it off uh, either. The guy told me, the person told me who helped me, the person who helped me told me, asked me if I have the resignation letter, the acceptance of resignation letter. And I said, yes, I do. Can you send it to me? Because this should be valid as well. I've sent it to him and I've sent it to Housing Benefits as well. Housing Benefits responded, oh, because it's been longer than 30 days after the issuing, we cannot take it into consideration. What is wrong with you people? I've been telling you that I have no way for me to get a P45. The address that I was registered with at the at the company that I was working with is one of the previous 4 addresses that I lived at. After being moved for so many times, I thought maybe I should wait, or maybe I should wait with changing my address until I get into permanent accommodation. Otherwise, I might have to change it every month, every time they move me. So they said no. I didn't know what to do. I just left it like that. I don't have money to pay. I'm being paid £305 a month. How can I pay? They're they're charging me £60 a month for service charge, even though I get £305 a month. If you can believe this, I get paid £305 a month, and you're charging me 60. So basically, you're leaving me with £245 a month to live. £20 phone, £225 to live in a month. To live within a month. Anyway, yeah. When the person saw that he has no success, he quit. He stopped calling me. He stopped